Sometimes people are afraid of money. And when we say they're afraid of money, that means that I'm afraid I'm going to do the wrong thing with it.
They're so afraid they're going to screw it up that it paralyzes them.
That's exactly what it is. And so as far as capital, of course, it's great to have a banker, but even simple things. It may be some point where your business needs a business credit card. Some of these accounts, especially if you're doing profit first, that involves multiple accounts. You want to make sure that you're getting the most for your buck.
Welcome to Those Odd Numbers podcast. My name is Jason Snider. I'm the founder and CEO of Main Street Financial Group. We are your fractional finance team.
I'm Summer McFarlen. I'm a CPA and certified tax coach. I'm also the co-owner of Main Street Tax Group, where we do strategic tax planning so you can keep more of what you earn.
I am Masheka Turner, and I am the owner of Bright Skies Business Services. We are your outsourced accounting firm and profit first strategies. And we are here to help you create wealth through your business by gaining clarity around your numbers.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Those Odd Numbers. I'm Summer McFarlen. I'm here again with Jason Snider and Masheka Turner. And today's topic is the top 5 professionals you need in your business. So we were talking, right? Because when you start a business, when you have a business, and essentially our discussion led to there's really 5 people that we feel like businesses really need in their life for advice, for other things. So we're just going to go down the list here. So number 1, we'll just start with, since we're all accountants and CPAs and all that, of course, we think you need a bookkeeper in your life. And that may be in the form of if your tax person has a full service accounting firm and they offer accounting and tax. So it may be one place, but then you may have separate, like Masheka and Jason, y'all have bookkeeping firms and advisory firms where you help businesses. So talk about that a little bit.
I'd say bookkeeping is the clarity part of it, the foundation for pretty much every component of it, business advising that we do. I can't think of where it wouldn't touch it, where bookkeeping isn't part of it. In fact, the primary reason we do offer bookkeeping is we know our clients need it for the other services they're engaged with us for, and the friction that seems to exist in the marketplace overall is either accountants offering the services, bookkeepers, etc. There's either a deficiency in quality, timeliness, various different reasons. So that's why we offer bookkeeping, is it's funnel to all of those business advisory services that we offer, whether it's cash management, forecasting, overall business advising, meeting with executives. I need to have good numbers, and I need to have them reliable, consistently in the pattern, the quality that are usable. And it needs to be done one way or the other, whether we do it, the client does it, we teach them how to do it, they find a qualified bookkeeper who puts out a good product regularly. It just needs to get done. So I would start with there. Definitely, it's foundational.
Yeah. And Masheka, some people get confused sometimes, and we use the term interchangeably, bookkeeper and accountant. So can you just talk about what the differences might be?
Yes. So the first thing I'll start with is bookkeeping. And bookkeeping usually starts with making sure that all of the bank accounts are reconciled, making sure they're reconciled back to the bank statements. Typically, hopefully, the books are going to be reconciled, and the bookkeeper at very minimum is going to go through the books with you, and you will receive monthly financials. That's what I call basic bookkeeping.
It's more data entry. They're not really doing any analysis or anything like that.
That's it. But to me, the real magic with bookkeeping, not only using those numbers to tell you what's happening now, but to use it and recognize patterns to predict the future. That's the real magic with having your books in order. And so that's where we're usually going into an advisory role. Some call it CFO services. We hear a lot about profit first professionals. For profit first to work, it is not a replacement for bookkeeping.
Yes.
Its real magic is once the books are in order, using those numbers to truly allocate what's actually happening in your business. So not only can you give an outline of what needs to happen with cash now, but what needs to happen in the future. That right there will always be the real magic. And of course, tax strategy, CPA. I don't want to step on Summer's toes, but that's just kind of laying out the differences between
Right.
this.
And sometimes a full service accounting firm will provide that, but some firms are just only tax only. And then, like I said, Masheka and Jason have firms that their foundation starts with bookkeeping, but they also do advisory and profit first strategy and things like that. So it's kind of, if I was a new business starting out, I'd probably just need the bookkeeping, right? And then once I was making more money, let's say after maybe 2 years to forever, I would probably need more of that advisory stuff. And I'll talk about the other person I think you need in your life, which is a tax. I feel like you need a tax advisor. I don't feel like there are tax people out there, right? They just do tax prep only, they're compliance only, which is fine at a certain point, maybe when you're starting out. But sometimes I think you need more eventually, which would be tax strategy and things like that. So that's the second person that you need in your life. The first is a bookkeeper slash accountant. The second is a tax advisor, because hopefully your business is going to grow and be profitable. And that opens up a whole can of worms and other things. And hopefully you're so successful, you do need a tax strategy in place at some point, not just a tax return. So a tax advisor can help you there. All right. So that's 1 and 2. What do you think the third one is? I think we'll go with banker. I think you need a banker in your life as well. So, Masheka, why do you need a banker?
Well, one thing I want to say, for some reason, I have found that first people get very afraid around just even the word banker. Jason and I talked about this, and I know y'all are not gonna believe this, but sometimes people are afraid of money. And when we say they're afraid of money, that means that I'm afraid I'm going to do the wrong thing with it.
They're so afraid they're going to screw it up that it paralyzes them.
That's exactly what it is. And so I think as far as capital, of course, it's great to have a banker, but even simple things, it may be some point where your business needs a business credit card. Some of these accounts, especially if you're doing profit first, that involves multiple accounts. You want to make sure that you're getting the most for your buck. And a lot of times with bankers, if you can expand on that relationship, so we're starting out fresh, we're getting our business bank accounts. Okay. Then the next step is getting our credit card. Then the next step is this, the next step is that. I have found that it's usually a very beautiful relationship when you are able to expand it with your banker. And if you need capital, or if you're trying to do something, if you already have someone you can call, or someone that already has a high level view of what you have going on, that's always going to be a better bet than starting with somebody fresh, in my opinion.
Yeah, I always like to go to community bank or something like that for those needs. And you see how we're stacking things in this discussion, right? You need bookkeeping for your tax return, you need bookkeeping for your banker, and you need to have a clean tax return for your banker. Then what do you want to add?
Goes out to there's a particular way, at least I would recommend that to engage with it. It's not just having that contact person, which is the first step, which many businesses don't even take that step. But the next layer would be get to know them, meet with them, preferably quarterly or at least a couple times a year. Bring your financials with you, show them what's going on, make it familiar with what's going on in your business. So if something happens that you need quick response or feedback from them, they're already at some level familiar with. Obviously, they're not going to skip due diligence or other things that they would need to do if they were giving you a new loan or other things like that. But the process is going to go a lot faster if you've already got that established relationship with them and you're leading, engaging with them so you can better structure your business to be prepared when those opportunities come along. And I would say opportunities because there's many instances where a competitor goes out of business or some other thing where you need to move fast, marshal some amount of cash to put together to make a bid for the assets or buy out the assets of the company. Whatever that opportunity is, you won't have those opportunities if you either don't have the cash available to do it or access to it. And that's a way to be proactive and engaging with your banker and not just come to them when you need something, but come to them. I'd recommend a quarterly basis because you're going to get some feedback of what you need to do to be ready for them and what their needs are if you ever need to access credit.
And a banker, just remember, a banker wants to loan you money. So
they want it back too, but definitely want to loan.
That's their job, right? Yeah. But of course, you have to meet certain criteria. But like Masheka said, don't be afraid of the money.
And of course, if you have a banker, they're going to give you advice about how to make the odds in your favor.
They are, but I also sometimes think you should talk about that with your financial
Yes.
professional.
And that's the good thing, though. Like you say, since we're stacking, if you have books in order and a banker can actually see what you're doing, that's going to tell them right away if you're a good risk or not.
Yeah, it will. It sure will. All right, let's move on to the next one. And really, I put bookkeeping first, but I almost put attorney first. I think you need a good attorney, a good business attorney in your life at some point, whether it's in the beginning to help you form an LLC or a corporation, however you're going to operate, what entity you're going to operate under. But attorney is also very useful. If you're leasing a space, they can review those leases for you and just guide you in those different areas where law is hard and we don't understand law a lot of the time. So hopefully you can get with a good attorney that can give you some clarity. Any other thoughts about attorneys? I'm talking about business corporate attorneys.
I'd say sound out somebody who has experience in it. And what I mean by that is in the practice of contracts, there's different practice areas for attorneys and especially even business attorneys as well. And you want somebody with an expert because part of the reason you're engaging with them is because they have an experienced eye for those situations to give you that. It's not just how they write the contract, it's that they have seen through experience or heard or however they acquire that knowledge that then they can bring to bear in your situation and things. So it would be, I wouldn't discount somebody's brand new who's getting started and they're focusing, maybe it'd be better termed a focus area, that they're going to be focused on your area, what you're going to need. If you're a medical professional, somebody has background in dealing with that aspects of law. If you're in construction, somebody who has some background in that as well. So sound out, find somebody who's going to fit your situation wherever possible with an experienced eye.
Yep. Very good. Masheka, anything to add about an attorney?
No, I agree with all of that. And the good thing about it is, especially if it's an attorney well versed in business law, some of those things about deadlines and things like that, they'll have an understanding of what you're doing, when things are coming up, so that you know what the next steps are. Because again, just because you don't know, you will not receive grace.
That is true. And that made me think of one thing to add is if you're doing an S Corp, just don't assume your attorney's going to file that S Corp election for you. I've had to rectify a lot of those situations. So it might be good to talk to your tax attorney. If you see a tax attorney, that's even better, right? They know what to file and all that. But anyway, that was a little sidetrack note because I like to follow the rabbit trail. All right. So our last professional that you need in your life, we think, is a financial advisor. Right. And you want to explain that, Masheka?
For me, if we're going to build businesses, if we're going to create a job for us, we might as well build wealth from it too. And having a financial advisor is someone that can help you be intentional about really building that wealth. Again, also having that tax person, usually the financial advisor and the tax person will work well together. Because not only are they giving you things for your future wealth down the road, they're also helping you lower that tax bill at the same time. So a financial advisor, I feel like, is definitely a step that you don't want to miss if you started a business.
That's very true. And I love working with financial advisors. I'm a good referral system for them. They're a good referral system for me, especially one that is very passionate about helping people and educating people. I really love those characteristics in a financial advisor. And just another thing, if you have employees or you yourself, if you're doing some kind of a retirement plan or 401k, you've got to have someone do that for you, handle that for you. So just even at that level, but then also you're right, there are just some tax strategies that we can put in place through wealth building, through your financial advisor, defined benefit plans, a SEP IRA, all sorts of things that we can do. Jason, got anything about a financial advisor you want to add?
No, you covered it pretty well in that regard. So yeah, we all need a team around us. These are the ones I think that are the basics foundation for every business owner.
Yeah, you can go from there. I guess if we wanted to add a six, we would say a good insurance person, right?
Dropping bonuses already.
I know. There's your bonus tip. There's your number 6. All right. This has been a really good discussion. I think we'll wrap things up. We actually finished in under 20 minutes, which is a miracle for us. So we appreciate you watching us or listening to the podcast. And we hope you have a great day and we'll see you the next time. Thanks. This content is for general informational purposes only and is based on current law and guidance as of the date of recording. Tax law and regulations are subject to change. This discussion should not be considered tax, legal, or investment advice. Listeners should consult their own tax or financial professional regarding their specific situation.